Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to my show, The Wisdom of Essential Oils. I'm Leonie Featherstone, and I love being on here with you so I can share all the exciting ways you can use the beautiful doTERRA essential oils in your life. I'm very much about using them in holistic practices. So we're here to talk about how we can use them mind, body, spirit. So wherever you are, love you to hop on and say hello. Let me know where you're from, what's going on in your world. Today, our topic is sense of empowerment. And I'd love to know what that means to you. What does being empowered mean to you? Because today, hi, Kerry, welcome. I want to talk about different oils that can perhaps support us on that journey to empowerment. For those of you who are new, I've been presenting this show on here, I think about, what are we up to? Episode 36, I think we're up to. And it's been wonderful to be able to hang out with you and answer your questions and get to know you better. And I don't just like to get to know you here in this hour. For any of you who are interested in coming on an oily journey with me, pop a note in the chat and I'll connect with you, because these oils can bring amazing changes to your world, and not just your world, to the world of those people you love. So right now, maybe start thinking about who you know that could perhaps benefit from a bit of love, a bit of extra support. And throughout the chat, we might something may resonate with you. And if so, reach out to me. I'd love to help them as well. So, Kerry, being empowered to you means being able to do things confidently. Yes, it's so interesting, isn't it? How we almost grow in stature when we have confidence. And of course, with confidence often comes competence, or competence. You become competent, and then you become even more confident, and you'll even take that next step. Yeah, that's fantastic. And so what I'm also going to be doing today, for those of you who are new on here, is actually drawing some of our beautiful oil cards and sharing messages that they have for you. So if you'd like an oil card, pop your name in the chat and I'll do that as well. What I love to start the day with, though, is a card for the collective. And I always choose from another one of my decks. I don't know about you guys, but I have so many decks of cards. I see them as my little support tools. And on that note, I want to encourage you all to start your life toolkit. Pop into it all of the tools that help you, whether it be essential oils, whether it's your cards that help you, your Bible, your journal, your other healing practitioners. Big shout out to David Laws and Jess Beard, two of my favorite people that work in the spiritual realm. Hello, Christine. Lovely. Yes, I'll definitely write you down, because what I do is I write your name down and then I'll go through everybody and let you know what oil. Excuse me, Monica. Hello, how are you, Monica Joe? And Kim, lovely to have you on too. Okay, so let's have a look at the card I've pulled from my deck from Gabrielle Bernstein today. The universe has your back. That's what they look like on the back. And what the message today is: when I focus on my inner light, I see the world, and I see that world through the lens of love. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the same card that I drew last week. So maybe there's a real message here for us guys that, when we want to be empowered, often people might think, I've got to really, get out there and fight, etc. But there's so much power in love and in kindness and in assertiveness as opposed to aggression. So I want to read that again. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So keep that one in mind. And then the oil card that I drew for us today is tea tree. Now, tea tree, the word that tea tree is offering us is evolution. And I guess that means moving through the stages. And, I think that ties in really well with being empowered too, because we're like babies. We go through all these different stages of our emotional growth. And so we may move into that stage of empowerment in one area of our life, but we're not so empowered in another. So we are constantly evolving. We are constantly growing. And I love that about life. I love it that, we're on this journey, this exploration, and we never know where it really leads us. But as long as we keep looking at it through those lenses of love, focusing on ourselves and how we want to be and being the best we can be, we can do amazing things. So tea tree, perhaps, the collective might be thinking that things will never change. This is as good as it gets. This is where we're at. Well, tea tree is saying to us, the imbalances and relationships that have been keeping you down are no longer needed. You are ready to transform. So are you? Are you ready to transform? Let's kick this off and really have a good hour together. And we could all use this as an affirmation. I attract only what is for my highest good. Because one of the things that tea tree is very good at is helping us to let go of circumstances or relationships that are not serving us. And it's also about letting go of parasitic relationships and not just looking outward, but again, coming inward and going, what is it about me that is attracting this? What behaviors, what thoughts, what beliefs are allowing me to attract those situations to me? So that's something to think about as well. Hi, Juliana. How are you? Now, remember, if you come on and you would like me to draw a card for you, excuse me, I will do so. So I want to kick off with Christine. And Christine, where are you from? You're looking for some guidance to get your confidence back. So let's see what our beautiful doTERRA essential oil message is going to be for you today. Okay, so I write down the oil in case you want to know later. And once I've done a few, I just forget. So Christine, maybe you're sort of in a state where something's going on in your world and you're just thinking, I've got to fix it. I've got to fix it. I've just got to fix this. And you're not really looking deeper. So you've chosen Ice Blue, our soothing blend. And we use the soothing blend when we are generally experiencing discomfort structurally and muscularly. And so you'll often be using this when you're in pain. So if you can think about this as being perhaps appropriate for emotional pain that you might be going through right now. And the message from our beautiful Ice Blue is lift yourself above your life situation, Christine, and just observe as a witness. So it's kind of like hovering up and looking down as in the third person. Understand that you are so much more than the story. So it's not just about fix it or get it out of life, get rid of this pain. It's very much about looking at the bigger picture and what is going on and maybe why, and perhaps viewing that as what is the lesson in this for me. So your statement to think about, and we love to, when we use the oils, we do what we call aromatic anchoring. So use the oil and use them consistently and have some words that have meaning for you. So the suggested ones for you, and feel free to adapt it to your words, is I am willing to learn from this. So I hope that resonates with you. And the word to focus on is soothe. This too will pass. Soothe. So that's for you, my friend. Kerry, you'd like one too? Okay, we'll pop that down. Well, one of the things when I think about empowerment, I'd love your thoughts on this. What words come to mind for you? Is it something you even think about? Because so often we just flow through life. In fact, we don't flow, we fang it through life. And we're not really self-aware. And we kind of think we want things, but we haven't really thought through of how we're going to get there, what we're going to let go of, what habits, what patterns, what beliefs needs to change. And so an oil I'd love to suggest to you is black pepper. If you can bring some black pepper into your life. And to utilize that. And there's different ways to use. Some people will put it in the diffuser, which is good because then it's around you all the time. But it's also a beautiful way when you're working on the emotions is to create what your oils that you anoint yourself with. And one of our good friends, Vanessa Jean, uses the word aromatic dressing. And it's so beautiful because you create your blend of oils that you want to apply. And so maybe we could bring in some black pepper. Maybe you could bring in some frankincense as well. And maybe you could bring in some linseed and blend those together. And then as you hop out of the shower and you've dried yourself, you're going to anoint and massage it into your entire body. And as you do, you're going to be intentional about being grateful for every part of your body, but also maybe asking some questions as you give thanks for this beautiful body you have, of actually, asking for the wisdom, that you can hear your own wisdom, or to be reconnected with who you really want to be, or how you want to feel. Because black pepper, for one, helps to kind of unmask and helps us to maybe bring out some of those repressed emotions that we've been hiding. And those those desires you've been pushing down and hiding. And know this, that what you push down will rise up, and sometimes it doesn't rise up very pleasantly. We can become resentful, etc. So it's really important that we allow those desires to be expressed honestly, and to support our deepest desires. Hi Sarah, how are you? Lovely to have you back. And so bring in some black pepper. And what did I mention? Litsi. I love Litsi. I'm just such a Litsi stage at the moment. It's very much about manifestation. So, and frankincense, of course. And I'm going to talk about frankincense a little bit later on. So let me move on to Monica. But there are so many different oils. And while we're just back talking about black pepper, remember that the essential oils, I talk a lot about the emotional aspects here, but they're fantastic physically. Black pepper is very supportive of the respiratory system. It's also very warming. So it would probably be good to partner up with some fractionated coconut oil and some ginger, and give your joints a nice soothing massage as well. And I love using it in my cooking. So all of my savoury cooking quite often gets a little drop of black pepper added in to give it that va-va-voom. Okay, so Monica. Okay, so we have for you the beautiful Lavender Peace. Now, Lavender Peace is a very calming oil, calming to the mind, calming to the emotions. And this is just going to suggest to you to focus on the word acceptance. Acceptance. Maybe right now you're feeling like you can't trust people around you. And yes, so maybe think about acceptance, and then we want to use this beautiful Lavender Peace oil. It's lavender, sandalwood, ylang-ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, these beautiful, soothing, relaxing oils. And the message from this for you, Monica, and I must just write this down, is I open my heart to heal and release. I open myself to the peace of divine love and grace. How beautiful is that? Even just saying that and hearing that, I hope you're starting to feel a little bit of relaxation coming in there. Lavender Peace is a brilliant oil for supporting a restful night's sleep too, Monica. And it also can stop that monkey chatter in your head, those thoughts that keep rising up and rising up. And you might be lying in bed rehashing those circumstances or situations that are leading you to feel that you can't trust people. So use this oil in the diffuser. Again, I always like to mix this one with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil and give myself a little neck massage, or put a swipe under my nose before I lie my head on the pillow. And then I feel totally enveloped in this beautiful field of, it's like a field of flowers, but a field of beautiful dreams. And so as you use this, Monica, you can be saying to yourself, everyone deserves my love. So I hope that touches a chord for you. So we're talking about sense of empowerment. So if you just hopped on, feel free to request a card, and I'll draw an oil card for you. But I'd also love your thoughts, because I want this to be a bit interactive. So what words pop into mind? Like when are you at your most empowered state? How are you feeling? What's going on? Just share some of those thoughts. Or maybe you're feeling disempowered. What's going on? Because the more you start to think, and even just popping it in the chat, it's sort of it's opening you up and starting the healing process for you. Because my friends, if we don't look within, we will go without. That's my true belief. We have to start digging. Sometimes it's a little bit painful, but just be gentle with yourself, ask questions, sit quietly, listen. Okay, so I want to move on to Kim, and then I want to share some other oils as well. So Kim. Sarah, you love lavender. It's so calming. I agree. Oh, Sarah, thank you. Sarah's sending love and light to everyone. If you're not seeing these chats, just know I am streaming into a few different locations. And so I'm not talking to myself. Thank you, Sarah. That's lovely. So Kim, you have coriander. Now, coriander is a beautiful essential oil that you can use in cooking. Now, I have to tell you, my friends, I'm only talking about doTERRA essential oils because they are the oils that I know and trust. All respect to whatever you are using, I just don't know the quality. So when I talk about using these in certain ways, it's because I do know of the immense testing processes that doTERRA go through. So that gives me peace of mind to use these in my cooking. And coriander is very powerful. One thing to remember if you are wanting to use our essentials is as food flavoring. They're very potent, very strong, so you only need a little tiny weeny bit. So let me come back to Kim because it's all about you right now, Kim. Coriander. The word for you, Kim, is honoring self. So sometimes, Kim, you might be really good at, taking care of everyone else's needs. And you might be thinking, well, this is the way it's always been done. This is the way I've always done it. And that's the way it has to be. And maybe you've carried on some patterns from the past from other people. But coriander is just asking you to take care of your needs as well. So the message is you're ready to fulfill your desires by thinking outside of the box. The path less traveled may be more fulfilling. I'm sure it will be. The thing, though, that often happens, Kim, is that while we're so busy taking care of other people's needs and honoring other people, we're not able to take that path because we haven't allocated time for ourselves. So coriander is basically encouraging you to honor yourself, to make time for you, and to take up that path. Take up that path. And your words to use while you're using your coriander is, I create my way. So I hope you like that one. Okay, so Sarah, I feel disempowered around my family. I'm caring full-time for a step-parent with cancer. I feel for you. Sometimes if you're around people, particularly if they're on a difficult journey, it can be quite draining. And I think that's where we have to find ways to re-empower ourselves and to top us up. And I love what you've just said. I feel connected when I'm with nature and around animals. So my friends, take the lesson of what Sarah just said and find ways where you can top up your tank. For me, it's nature as well, Sarah. For other people, it might be just, getting in a comfy chair and listening to their favorite music. But if you're not thinking about what tops you up, how can you put it into practice? So become more self-aware to know what can help you to feel more empowered in certain situations, and also to know how to safeguard yourself before you go into situations to avoid that disempowerment taking place. And, that takes a lot of internal work, but also you can bring in some powerful oils there. We've got some awesome blends like On Guard, which is our oil of protection. It's wild orange, eucalyptus, rosemary, cinnamon, and clove. And that's a really good one to work with to actually help you set boundaries before you expose yourself to situations and people so that you are ready. And sometimes just by changing our inner state, we find that when we go into the situation, it's not what we expected, because so often we're trying to change other people instead of just coming within and strengthening and changing ourselves, and then we put off a different energy. We create a different vibration, and often we will then attract a like vibration to ourselves. So, okie dokie, what are some other oils? Clary sage. Sometimes I find people aren't empowered because they don't even know what they want. And, they haven't really taken the time to dream. I'm a total dreamer. I love dreaming. I've got an incredible imagination from growing up in the outback where we didn't have electricity or any of these things, and we had to amuse ourselves. And I'm very grateful. But, if you are struggling a little bit to have a vision for yourself, maybe bring in some clary sage. Clary sage used to be used by the medieval monks. They favoured that for using with any eye issues. And so it got nicknamed clear eyes. And I think that, often we have to just clear our eyes and, wipe the fog away, wipe the noise, the distraction away, so we can actually change our current perception on what is available out there for us or what we want to do. And we can start to dream again. We can actually see our own limiting beliefs and start to do something about getting rid of them. So maybe bring in some clary sage to help you there. Okay. Kim, thank you. Yes, please. My Facebook page is Sense of Empowerment, and I do have a website in progress. I'm not the most tech person. I love chatting one-on-one, and I don't mind speaking to a large group. I love connecting with you individually because it's so powerful when we start to go deep and to ask questions. And I love being that facilitator of your growth, of your empowerment, and using these beautiful essential oils as the tools. Fantastic. So what else we're going to say? Another oil I want to tell you about. And this is, essential oils are very potent and we only use a little. They vary greatly in price depending on where they're sourced, how prolific that product is. Like a lot of the citrus are much cheaper because citrus grows in abundance, whereas some of the oils such as Melissa, which I wanted to tell you about, is much more delicate. Sometimes in various seasons it's hard to get, and it takes a lot of plant matter to extract that oil. And so Melissa is a very good investment to make. So save up your pennies, or I can show you ways to get it cheaper. But Melissa is very much an oil that will awaken us to see the truth, to see the light. And when I think of Melissa, I think of a beam of light. And this is definitely going to encourage you to basically let go of burdens and to actually see your own spark of divinity. So Melissa is a really good one if you are struggling to even get off the starting blocks. And I found this, I'm going to read it, I've got it here. I don't know who wrote it, but when it comes to Melissa, this was a saying that was associated with Melissa. I allow my inner compass to direct my life path. I align with my life's priorities and mission. So Melissa is very much about awakening the soul to truth and light. So that would be one for you. Now, an oil that we have, actually a blend that we have that has Melissa in it that is much more affordable, is a blend called Elevation. And so that can help bring in that as well and really elevate you to a high platform, lift you up, fill you with joy. And that's something else, my friends. You know I bang on a lot about joy. But if you haven't done it, ask yourself this question. And I use Ollie the Octopus as a brainstorming tool, and you can find him on my website. But you can just draw a circle in the middle of the page and draw legs off. And then in the middle you put your question. And the question I think we all need to be asking ourselves regularly is, what brings me joy? And then fill it in and see, okay, what aren't I doing that used to bring me joy, and why aren't I? And so maybe carving out time, creating those rituals around using the oils to find your own inner wisdom, to find your own desires so you can follow your life path. So thank you, Monica. Thank you. Okay, so who's next on the list? Kerry, my good friend Kerry. How are you? Lovely to have you on here again. So Kerry, what wisdom do our essential oils have for you today? Wow, we have celery seed. This is one I don't come up very often, Kerry. So the word that we have with celery seed is cleanse. So again, right now, Kerry, you might be feeling like you haven't got the answers and that you're looking out for the answers. And maybe the cleanse here for you is about maybe cleansing your own vision and seeing that you have the inner wisdom within. So celery seed has a message for you. The aligned outcome for you is simple, but not necessarily easy. Commit your goals to heart each day and know every single action will take you closer to them. And as you're using your celery seed, Kerry, tell yourself this: I am the answer. And that made me think, excuse me, Kerry, that made me think of something I just read recently, and it was, your life is the sum total of your choices up to this point. And that's for all of us. And sometimes we can go into that, oh, but they did this, or I didn't have whatever. And we can do that, but it's really empowering to take responsibility for that, because we've all made choices. Because when we realize that we are free to choose, we realize we're in control. And I talk about him a bit too, Viktor Frankl, who was a prisoner of war for many, many years in some atrocious conditions. And he made the decision they could take his physical freedom away. They could do what they wanted to his body, but they were not going to have his mind. He chose to take control over his mind. So, Kerry, I hope that that is good for you. Great. Awesome. Fiona, yes, you're not too late, my friend. I will write you down. Lovely to have you. Crystal, lovely to have you on too. Okay, we'll see what the oil cards have for you, Crystal. So, Kerry, I'm just writing down celery seed. So lovely to have you on. Anyone that's just popped on, yes, if you'd like an essential oil card, just pop it in the chat. What we're talking about is how we can use the doTERRA essential oils holistically, mind, body, spirit. And our topic today is sense of empowerment. We don't have to stick to topic, and I often digress. But if you've got any feelings that you can share with us, because we're all here to learn from each other, what do you do that helps you to feel empowered? I know for me, I have to know my purpose. And I know my purpose. My purpose is to empower everyone to be the best they can be. And to do that, I need to be the best I can be. So I'm on that constant path. And these beautiful doTERRA oils have come into my life, and they're my vehicle to reach out and touch your lives, touch your hearts, and invite you to come on this journey with me. And that purpose gets me up out of bed, excited every single day, regardless of what's going on. Yes, I have issues in my life and I have some structural pain and things like that, but that core purpose drives me. And I balance it up with my family and all the other things that I do. But that just makes me feel on fire. So purpose is really important. Hi, Nettie. Yes, lovely. I'll write you down. Lovely to have you. And Crystal, you're a doTERRA oily as well. Fantastic, fantastic. It's wonderful. Share any of your great experiences with using oils too, because we want to help each other. So where was I? Okay, so with doing your joy, Ollie. But what I'll do, I will come back to, I want to just go up here. I mentioned I'm not overly tech with this, so I just have to make sure I've written everyone down. And Sarah, I think it's you. Sarah, did you ask me for a card? Okay, I'm going to say it's for Sarah because I rushed my writing, but if I've missed someone, just pop your name in the chat again. Righty-ho. Kerry, you're doing your course. Feel like giving some? Yes. Keep on going. Yes, keep on going. Just revisit your why. It's really important. When I talk about purpose, some people just say it's your why. Why are we here? If you just keep asking yourself questions, my friends, why am I on this earth? And you might come up with something and then go, well, why? Or why is that important to me? Just keep asking yourself questions, whatever you come up with. And then you'll start getting down to the nitty gritty of the real emotional reason why you want to do something or why something is important to you. Nettie's a doTERRA oiler as well. Fantastic. Easy Air, yes. And do you know what? Easy Air is probably a good oil to bring in here for helping us feel empowered, because so often we get suffocated and choked by all of the things that are going on around us. And yes, Easy Air is amazing in winter when we feel compromised. It can open up and support our respiratory system, open up those bronchioles, allow us to breathe in the oxygen, get out that stale carbon dioxide. But on a physical level, how much toxic thoughts, emotions, beliefs have we taken on board that we need to get rid of? So bring the Easy Air. We talk about these as your personal diffusers. Pop some Easy Air on the heel of your palm, rub it together, close your eyes because the peppermint in there is quite tingly. Breathe it in deeply and let it out. And as you do, create an affirmation. I release all that no longer serves me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always be grateful. Send everything off with love, because as my friend David Law says, everything is a boomerang. What you send out will come back. So thank you for popping that in there about the Easy Air. So I want to come back to Sarah. Thank you for popping things in. I really love learning from you guys as well. So Sarah, black spruce. Oh, I love trees. You're probably sick of hearing me say that, but I love trees. And I always want to encourage you. Yes, pop all of us in your life toolkit and all of the beautiful other tools. But please know you are the most amazing tool in the toolkit. And I want to encourage you all to visit nature. If you have a patch of lawn in your backyard with one flower or one tree, just go there and look at it and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is the message of this grass beneath my feet? What is the message of that tree that sways in the wind? Just ask yourself. And no, I haven't lost the plot. But you'll start to see messages and metaphors in life that will really serve you well. Nettie, you love David? Yes, who doesn't? Can't wait. David's coming to visit me in June, and we're so excited to have him up here in the region. So let me come back to Sarah. Black spruce. So black spruce is about restoration. So Sarah, right now, perhaps there's something that you feel in your life is not whole, that is broken, that needs repair. So black spruce has a message for you. Black spruce is saying, as you release your attachment to the high and the low, you find peace and balance. Honor the cycles of your body and your energy now. And I want to just say, Sarah, when you think about the spruce tree, you know, they go through the storms and they go through the calm and they sway and they move, but they know that they just deal with the highs and the lows, and so can you. So just honor those cycles as the black spruce does. Honor those cycles and maybe bring in a little bit of patience, and know that as you use black spruce, it's going to fortify you, and you can say to yourself, I am illuminated. So I hope that resonates with you. Okay. Some other oils. Okay, another thought I had about empowerment. Sometimes people feel disempowered because they just don't see their own worth. They don't see these beautiful, amazing beings that they are. And so if you're feeling like that, if you're feeling, what have I got to offer? I could come up with a host of oils, but one of them I want to suggest to you is Burmo. Bergamo is a beautiful citrus. Bergamo, some of you may know Bergamo as having been used in Earl Grey tea, and it's one that is probably in the early days was used in eau de colognes and probably still is. Know too that often when our essential oils are used in perfumes, they may not be the entire essential oils, because sometimes with perfumes they just take certain aspects. And one of the things that doTERRA strives to do is to give you the oil as nature intends it to be. Nothing taken out, nothing added in. So you are getting exactly what Mother Nature, Mama Earth, wants you to have. And so Bergamo on a physical level is quite supportive if you've got any, joint or muscle cramps or tension. It's quite supportive in that way, so you could use it as a rub. Remember, with any citrus, though, we must put them where the sun doesn't shine, and I'm not being rude. We need to put them under clothing because they can create photosensitivity. Otherwise, give yourself 12 hours or so before you go out in the sun. Bergamot is quite calming and soothing as well, so that it could be good to add into a nighttime diffuser blend. And it's great for easing if you're a little bit stressy at times. But Bergamot is very much about helping you to reconnect with your own self-worth. So that could be a good oil to bring into your world. Who do we have next? Fiona. Looking forward to, I'm actually coming out to Mount Isa soon, Fiona, so we'll have to find a time to catch up. Love traveling with my business. Farmer Green and I are going out west to support my sister and one of her friends are doing a walk from Mount Isa to Cloncurry to Mount Isa, believe it or not. It's a long way, to raise money for the palliative care unit because they lost a dear partner. And so we're going out to a function for that. But I'm going to be sharing some oily wisdom out there as well. And I love that with my business, that it gives me that freedom to travel. If any of you are looking for a support income, chat to me, because I can show you ways to meld this in with your existing practices, your existing healing techniques, or just show you how to create a business from it. But just pop that in the chat if you are interested. Of course, if you are already working with a beautiful doTERRA essential oil wellness advocate, please talk to them about it, because I do honor connections. So Fiona, you have the amazing spearmint, Fiona. Now this is a gorgeous oil. For any of you out there who don't like peppermint or find it too potent, Spearmint is a very gentle form of mint. Now, I have some yummy ways of using spearmint, and it involves fudge. And I've got to tell you, it is divine. But Fiona, right now with spearmint, maybe you're feeling, this is on an emotional level, maybe you're feeling unheard. Maybe you're feeling that nobody listens to you. Spearmint is about helping you to reconnect with your conviction in your own worth of words, the worth of your words to be heard. And so spearmint is saying to you, stand strong and communicate your message, Fiona. The world is ready to receive what you have to share. So get out your spearmint, Fiona. Pop it in the diffuser if you like. Mix it with perhaps with some frankincense and fractionated coconut oil. That would be amazing. Frankie would really fortify you and help you to let go of any other lower vibrations. And say to yourself, my voice is heard. So that's for you, spearmint. Spearmint for you, Fiona. Wonderful. Okay, so another oil. I want to just take a few moments, if I may. Oh, Kerry, of spearmint and peppermint together. You love them both together or on their own? I love using the peppermint in just about every way imaginable, particularly for chocolate. So I want to talk about my blend. I always come up with a blend to go and an affirmation to go with the topic. So the topic today is sense of empowerment. And I came up with this one quite some time ago. And that's why my page and my business is called Sense of Empowerment, because I believe we all need to reconnect with that empowered feeling. Because you know what, guys? If we are all empowered, imagine the difference we're going to make to the world. Just one person at a time. The energy that we will give off, the ripple effect, we will actually be like a lighthouse for other people who also want to be empowered. So I bring in frankincense. Frankincense, our beautiful friend. You know, Frankie's an interesting tree. He just looks really scraggly, grows in those hot desert areas. It's wildcrafted, it grows. And you'd look at it and think, oh gosh, that's not much of a tree. But look what it gives us, one of the most precious oils on the planet. It is so multifunctional. It has so many uses. It is so calming to the central nervous system. It is so supportive of regenerating cellular growth. So it's often used in our skincare. So if you want to bring it in as part of a facial serum, it would be a great oil to add to your nightly routine. But I love Frankie because he really helps us to let go of those lower vibrations and help us to really stand in truth and integrity. And when you look at the frankincense tree again, and this is what I mean, just go out in nature and have a look at what nature is teaching us. When you look at the frankincense tree and how the oil is obtained, they have to actually score the tree, and then the resin seeps out and it hardens, and then they harvest that resin and then they extract the oil from it. But if you think about that as the metaphor for life, there's a few things. We shouldn't judge. Do not judge others. We don't know what's hidden beneath. And also, sometimes it is in being vulnerable that we find our greatest strength. If Frankie didn't become vulnerable and allow those cuts to allow that resin to emerge, the world would not have that amazing strength that he offers us. So let's take that on board as well. And of course, you know, if we look at frankincense being used down through the centuries, back through biblical times, it's one of in the Ebers Papyrus, which is one of the oldest known medical documents, they talk about using essential oils and frankincense. And so bring frankincense into your world. He is just the most amazing oil. So I want to bring him in here to this blend. I also want to bring in Aromatouch. Now, in this world at the moment, we are overwhelmed. There's so many people, things going on, being bombarded, that it's so easy to either take on board other people's burdens or just to feel so weighed down the weight of the world and our own. So Aromatouch has some amazing oils in it. Excuse me. We've got basil, which is really supportive to the adrenals, and it's also the oil of renewal. We've got peppermint. We've got lavender, soothing. So what Aromatouch is helping us on an emotional level is to, let go of some of these burdens that are no longer serving us, and to sort of release, and to really relax the stiffness of heart as well. So Aromatouch is just such a beautiful oil. I've only just got to smell it, and I can kind of feel, I feel like I'm not on my own. I've just shed 100 kilos off my back, and I feel like I'm on that path of renewal. And then I want to bring in wild orange. Wild orange, the oil of joy and abundance. I don't know about you guys. I can't smell wild orange without, or even think about wild orange without just beaming, because it is about helping us to live in abundance and to expect abundance and to let go of scarcity and to think that there's not enough, because there is. And I live with this example daily, because right outside my bathroom window is an orange tree. And when I'm showering in the morning and the evening, I look out, and some fruit falls into the paddock and some fruit falls into the home yard. The tree doesn't care. And also, there's so much. I love watching the birds come and get it. And there's plenty for all. So when I bring these three oils in together, I feel so supported, so empowered, so renewed. And that is my sense of empowerment blend. And then my affirmation is really simple. You're welcome to use it or to create your own. And that is, all is well in my world. Everything flows to me with ease and grace. So I'm going to suggest to you, Nettie, you love wild orange too. I'm going to suggest to you that you create your own sense of empowerment blend. Okay, Kerry, it's what we call wild orange. I'm not sure what orange you're talking about, but yeah, the wild orange that we call comes from the bitter orange tree, and it brings us neroli, and it also brings us petitgrain, just different parts of the tree. I think I've got that right, but yeah, other people might source their oranges differently. We source our wild orange oil by cold pressing the flesh of the orange. Hi, Juliana. Yes, I can write you down. So I want to encourage you all to go out, make your own sense of empowerment blend. If you want some help, private message me. I'd love to help, and come up with your affirmation. And this is something that you can use daily. Rituals are really, really important with empowerment, because, it's like, you don't just shower once in your life. You don't just clean your teeth once a week. We do that regularly. And on that note, if you think, oh, I can't remember to do these things, I learned this trick called habit stacking. So if you think, oh, I'll miss doing that, just think, okay, I'm going to do my oil application when I clean my teeth. So that way you'll be doing it at least twice a day, hopefully. Sarah, you did miss your card, but you can just watch the replay. And your card that I actually drew for you was black spruce. So pop back on later and you can listen to the replay. So let me just move on to Crystal, because Crystal has asked for a card too. Yes, don't you hate it when your phone runs out of battery? Okay, so just write this down. Crystal, you've chosen Douglas fir. I really love it when you guys choose trees, because they warm my heart. There's so many lessons in trees. So, Crystal, your word is resolution. So perhaps you are being haunted by maybe some things that have gone on in the past that you feel are not being dealt with, that you're taking forward with you, and that is really triggering you. So your message from Douglas fir is, let yourself be the one to heal the wounds that have been passed down from your ancestors. The release and growth begins with you. Because Douglas fir is very much about supporting that generational healing. And we bring down from generations, whether it's physical habits that have been passed on one to the other, or whether it's in our DNA, and we're bringing it through. But a new path can start right here with you, Crystal. You decide. You have the choice to thank the past for the lessons, and sometimes those lessons have been painful, but to know that you can heal and move forward totally in a different state to where you are right now. And by making that choice and using that Douglas fir and bringing it in, you will know, in this moment, I am free. And those are your words, your affirmation to use with this oil. So Douglas fir, beautiful. I love the fir oils. To me, they exude energy and wisdom. And I think that's what it's helping you with right now, Crystal. So feel free to use it in your diffuser. You could, add other oils to go with that. I tend to like to put fruits with trees or flowers with trees, so you might want to bring in there. A wild orange would go beautifully with that. Or if you have some other specific emotions going on that you need help with, just message me and I can help you with that. So Douglas fir, beautiful oil for you, Crystal. And if anyone else is feeling in a similar space, you can add that into your collection as well. It's quite interesting. I draw the cards for each of you, but there's probably a little bit of each of us in each of us. So I'm sure there's going to be some resonating going on between you with the cards. Hello, Ramina. How are you? Lovely to have you back. Yes, I will write you on the list. So let's go on to Nettie. Nettie, whose bottle of happiness is wild orange. Yes, a lot of people call wild orange joy in a bottle. So Nettie, your oil today is marjoram. And marjoram, yes, is another herbaceous oil. And for those of you who like to cook with herbs, no, you can use your essential oils, your doTERRA essential oils, and but they're very potent and you only use a very small amount. So maybe, Nettie, sorry, just to make sure I'm talking to the right person. Nettie, right now, maybe you're feeling a bit disconnected from people, feeling like you can't trust some people around you, and there is that distance. So marjoram is saying to you, your big, beautiful heart is ready to open. Trust that you will be able to discern who is best to walk with you. So marjoram is very much about helping us to connect, and maybe because you've felt a bit of distance or disconnection and you're a bit wary, this is just going to help. If you think about marjoram on a physical level, Nettie, sometimes it helps because marjoram is very much about relaxing the muscles, and you can imagine like really tight, and then you relax and they reach out and they stretch out. And so think about that on that emotional level of when you start to trust yourself and to activate your discernment and trust that you will be able to work out who and you set the boundaries about who can come within your space, you will find that reconnection happening with the right people. So there you go. That's one for you. So Juliana, let's pick a card for Juliana across the ditch in New Zealand. You have... Oh my gosh, I love our aromatherapy, emotional aromatherapy range. And this is one of them, Juliana. You have Console. So I often think of Console as being like a lovely, soft, warm blanket of support that you just wrap around yourself when you just want to curl up in the fetal position. So perhaps having some of those moments where you're feeling like things are just too hard and it's a bit difficult to go on, Console is going to be there by your side, soothing you, comforting you, telling you it's okay, it's going to be okay. And here is your message from Console. Please hold space for the feelings you have. Honor them and be with them. Your burden will be lightened. So often, Juliana, when we're in those sort of situations, there is a tendency to sort of like, oh, I just need to get on with it, or I know I need to go on, or you want to dismiss those feelings, but it's really important to validate them, to validate those feelings and honor yourself for being where you are and for having come this far. And then know that using your Console, and use it regularly. It comes in the 5 ml, but it also comes in a 10 ml roller. So if you have the 5 ml, you can put it in your diffuser, and you can also then make up your own little 10 ml by adding fractionated coconut oil and just roll it on. Make it your perfume of choice, pure fume of choice. Roll it on. Pop it in your hands. Inhale it regularly and create some affirmations around the support and the fact that you are strong and you can keep going on, and that you have released the burdens of your life. And the words that they are suggesting for you is, my heart is light. So roll on the Console, my friend. And always know you're never alone. I want you all to know that. We do have a greater power that surrounds us and supports us, whatever name you give that greater power. But we have only to ask and we will receive. So Let me just have a look at the time. Yes, we've got time because there's a couple of other oils I wanted to talk about. One of my favorite oils I'm going to at the moment is Clarify. And Clarify is a relatively new blend to doTERRA, but it's a great one for supporting the respiratory system. And for anyone that finds like that tea tree eucalyptus is a bit too strong, Clarify is a lovely mix of frankincense and litsi and tangerine and cardamom. Cardamom is very supportive of the respiratory system. And I love it. It's just so fresh. And so it's kind of like opening me up, helping me to release. And we all need to do that. We all need to release the burdens, release the false beliefs, release the toxic thoughts, the toxic emotion, and release the toxic people in our world and send them off with love. Remember that, send them off with love and kindness. So with Clarify, when we look at some of the oils in there, Litsi being about manifestation, it also encourages us to follow through on those promptings. And I bring this one in because we're talking about feeling empowered and following our dreams and our desires. So Litsi is going to support us there. And Clarify also has tangerine in it, which is quite a joyful citrus blend as well. It's very much about creativity and spontaneity. And one thing I've noticed, and maybe you can let me know if this is you as well, but if I am not expressing my creativity, I feel kind of shut down and disempowered. And so, it's just reminding us that to find those little creative sparks within and allow them to burst into flames and, shine that light. And that will help us feel empowered as well. So let me go on to Romina and see what we have for you. So if any of you that have just come back to us thought of words or that help you feel empowered, or times when you feel empowered, or maybe some rituals that you practice that help you feel empowered, feel free to share it with us because we all want to learn. Okay. So Romina, you have another one from the Emotional Aromatherapy range, and it's called Passion. So the word for you is freedom. Freedom. What does that mean to you, Romina? Freedom. Maybe you could all think about that as well. I was actually that's going to be the topic for next week, freedom. So I'll give you all some advance notice. So maybe right now, Romina, you might be feeling that you're stuck and, you're between a rock and a hard place and you don't have any choice. Well, I'm not sure if you were on when we were talking about choice, but we all do have choice, as tough as that might sound. And sometimes you think, well, no, my choice was taken away from me. But when we go deep, we can see that we really do have a choice. So the message from Passion for you, my friend, is it is the time to play. Do something different today to shift your routine. Because sometimes we get stuck in that rut, or stuck in that, the shoulds. Shoulds take prisoners, they wrap us up in chains. And so sometimes we have to make that choice to let go of that should, turn the key in that padlock and unlock that chain today. And know that, we do have this choice, and to think about the things that you used to be passionate about. What inspires you, Romina? What brings you joy? What lights your fire? These are the questions I would like you to ask yourself, my friend, and see what comes up. What comes up for you when you go through that process. And so use Passion, again, very much like I was saying before with Console. It comes in a 5 ml, and you can pop it in your diffuser, and you can mix it with some fraction of the coconut oil and anoint your body, or make yourself a 10 ml roller, or buy it in the set of 10 ml rollers. But whatever you do, use it regularly throughout the day. So you're stuck in grief most days. Yes. So you need some joy, and this will actually kind of lift you up out of that, Romina, and just help you to remember that you do deserve joy. You do deserve joy, and that you have that choice to make. And sometimes it's just about one thing. Do one thing, Romina, and go, I'm going to take 5 minutes. 5 minutes where I'm just going to think about me and inhale these beautiful oils, and I'm going to do a little circle in the middle of the page, and I'm going to ask myself what brings me joy. And then I'm going to write all these things that bring me joy. And then I can go back to that other state. But what you will find is the more you do this, the more you break away from that state that you were in, the longer these patches will be, and the less those others will be. So I hope that that inspires you to take some time for you, Romina. Do something for you. Another oil I want to blend, I want to bring in here is Adaptive. It's another relatively new blend of doTERRA's, and it's got a beautiful collection of oils: wild orange, copaiba, lavender, spearmint, magnolia, and the list goes on and on. But this whole blend is designed to support us through these times of difficulty when we feel really, really low and are struggling to go with the highs and lows of life. And so it's going to be giving us that reassurance. It's helping to calm us. It's helping to relax those feelings of worry and uneasiness, and helping us to, as the name suggests, adapt to the stresses that are going on in our life. So that's another blend. Another oil I wanted to bring in is turmeric. Now, again, if you love to cook, you may use turmeric, and it's a great cooking spice. It's often used in skin products as well for skin blemishes. It's very, it's wonderful for supporting the easing of the creaking and the discomfort in our joints and muscles. So you can see it to be a beautiful one to pop in with some fractionated coconut oil, maybe some ginger, ice blue. People will think you're cooking up a storm if you start putting on turmeric and ginger, but that's okay. You'll feel really good for it. But turmeric on an emotional level is really inviting us to reach into those damaged aspects of ourself and to realize that we can restore those. And, you know, whatever it may be, it can help us to kind of recognize what those things are. You know, what is weighing us down? You know, why have I lost confidence? And it's really just kind of giving us a little bit of light and a little bit of encouragement to move forward. It's helping to alleviate those inflamed emotions which are no longer serving us. And as it will relieve those inflamed emotions, it can do that with your physical body as well. So it's about calming and soothing. It's very much it's a root oil, so we think about on a even just helping to support us on that level of the root chakra, as in security, and helping us to know that we are safe, we can be taken care of, and that we have a choice. So that's another oil I wanted to bring in there for you. What was another oil that I had that I wanted to talk to you about? Past tense, another great one for this, because I believe that often the reason we're feeling disempowered is that we're carrying all this weight on our shoulders and we really just want to sink down. So we'll want to be able to sit up straight and really feel light. So I want to bring in past tense. It is, as its name suggests, a tension blend, and it has some powerful oils in there as well. But what I do with this one is I will actually roll it across my shoulders and then give myself a nice little shoulder massage. And then I will take it up the back of my neck, and on those just sort of do like a spidey crawl all over my head, and just almost visualize all of that tension just like vapor disappearing out of my head. And if you want, you can then start seeing little suitcases of worries and suitcases of cares disappearing up into the air. But what past tense is doing is just releasing the tension, releasing our attachment to that attention. I want to say that again, releasing our attachment to that tension, because often that's all it is. We've decided that we're holding on to it, we're going to hold on to it because that's the state we know. So often we're fearful, and that's what's creating that pain and tension. So we want to help release that as well. So that's my last oil to talk to you about today. Thank you so much for being on board with me. Remember, I'd love you to come on a daily journey with me. Great offers at the moment. If you're not already working with a wellness advocate, we have 20% off our starter packs till the end of this month. And so it's an ideal time to start your oily journey. But guess what, guys? You don't just get the oil packs, you get me as well, because I do not like to see oils go off without you getting the right support. So I support you in a tailor-made fashion in the way that you want, working with your needs, helping you explore your inner self and your physical self, and then helping guide you to using those oils to bringing the most abundant wellness, abundant holistic wellness into your world. So if you'd like to be a part of that, just message me below. and I'll be in contact. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next week for our sense of freedom. So start thinking about what freedom means to you. Have a great week.